Hi, Greg. Can you give us an update on your health situation and what exactly occurred and went through?
Yeah, so during the bye week, I was in an ST drill and basically tore my meniscus, and I had surgery last week, and they repaired it, and I'm full go. I had practiced all yesterday, didn't take any reps off, and I'm feeling really good.
What did you think of your replacement's play last week?
Well, I mean, you probably know it was excellent. Tavon played an excellent game, and I was really happy for him to get in there and do such a good job for us.
You just mentioned Tavon, and I know Coach Kelly gave the game ball for USC to Khalid. What do those guys who maybe they don't start every game, but what can they do for your defense?
I mean, they do great things for us. Obviously, everyone on the defense is important to us, but a guy like Tavon, with our rotation, the three-man rotation that we've done the whole season, it's not like he hasn't had that starting position. He might not be the first guy out there, but he's been taking starting reps all season long, so he was ready for that moment. And that's for all of us. Like, whether it's Tavon or I or Niles starting, we all kind of have had enough reps to where we feel like starters.
Greer, here in the middle, how would you describe NC State's offense and the things that you guys have to deal with adjusting to them?
Yeah, I think they're really good at what they do. They have a lot of misdirection with their stuff, and they're just pretty sound at what they do. They don't turn over the ball. I think they had 3 turnovers, and then in the first game, the quarterback's really good with his progressions, and so it's going to take a lot of us to beat them, but I think we're up to the task.
Regarding motions, Drew talked about how many motions that they incorporate. What does that do for a defense?
So I think for a defense, it makes you have to be more disciplined with your eyes. Definitely there's going to be kind of like window dressing, and you kind of got to read through it and go through your progressions and fit the right gaps, and that kind of adds a new element to the defensive game. So when they have a bunch of motions, it makes it trickier, but at the same time, as long as we're understanding our game plan, it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
As Niles reminded me, all the running backs that you face are fast, but I was just wondering if Hines is at the top of that list, or who up to this point has been maybe the fastest running back that you guys have faced? I
think probably this guy that we're going to see this week, Hines, and I think that he's downhill, he's fast, and so it's going to be a challenge for us, but I think we're up to it.
You guys you've been beating people so badly. You haven't had a close game since the Georgia game. I mean, I would imagine that maybe that'd be fine with you the rest of the season if they were all 4 touchdown games, but does the competitor in you look forward to an opportunity maybe in an end game situation?
So I think, as you said, I would be totally okay with beating the rest of the teams by a lot of points. But I think that definitely as a competitor, we want a close game, and we're ready for that close game. And when it comes, I think we're going to, be able to dominate that type of situation. That's what we've been preparing for. We talk about grit and like all these attention to details, and that's when those really come into play, is not when we're beating teams by a lot of points, but when it's really narrow. Thank you.
Greer, I know you guys were pretty confident before the season of where this team could go. Now to be where you are and have that validation to this point, how much has the confidence, the mood increased throughout the season?
I wouldn't say that it's increased. I think it's stayed pretty level. I think that from the start we had this confidence ingrained in us just from our preparation. But for us, like, it's not about listening to anything on the outside or any of the noise. It's just about doing the same exact thing that we've been doing and just preparing to out-execute our opponents.
I asked Drew about maintaining that focus, but I guess as captains, it's probably easier for you guys. How do you make sure maybe the younger guys aren't listening to anything from the outside?
I think just reiterating that fact that, like, we are where we are because we did things a certain way, and so we have to continue doing that way. And that, like, when we were really bad, they were saying this, and when we were really good, they were saying that, and that doesn't really matter as long as we have the same message within the locker room and continue to grow as a team.
Does it help having another big opponent in NC State that you have to focus on the task at hand because they're so good?
Yeah, and I think that goes for the rest of our season. Like, it's not like any of the games get easier, and so it's just a progression for us as the season continues to go on. We just have to keep getting better if we're going to keep winning.
You guys have won the turnover battle. They win their turnover battle every week the other way in terms of not giving it up. How much are you looking forward to that challenge, and how critical is that in determining the outcome of this game?
I think it's huge in determining the outcome of this game. Usually the team that has the more turnovers wins the game, and for us that's been a big emphasis on creating turnovers, and with an offense that doesn't give very many opportunities for those turnovers, it's going to be a great challenge to us, and I think we're ready for it.
Anything else? Oh, sorry, I looked right past you.
Greer, obviously you're still under 2 weeks from that surgery. I mean, do you feel like you could have contributed anything against USC?
So, I mean, I warmed up against USC, and I felt like I could go, but it was probably more adrenaline than anything. But I wasn't ready to play last week, and so I was just more focusing on getting back this week and being healthy.
Right, so we saw you dress out and going through warm-ups and everything. What was the experience of that game like, just kind of being that close to it but not participating?
Well, obviously, for me as a competitor, I wanted to be out there and sharing that celebration with the guys, but from the sideline, it gave me a different perspective, and it really kind of made me want to get back out there. But it was awesome to see all the guys on the defense and offense succeed, and ultimately, it doesn't really matter about me, it's about the team.